Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PSN review. A week late, albeit, because I wanted to review the Simpsons game last week when it was announced and going to be free for Plus members, which I thought great, excellent game on a service that so far with this year's subscription hasn't been all that great and worth £40, but there's still 6 months left of the year and Simpsons is a great way to kick off ramping it up a little bit. But then stories broke, and I don't know how much of this is true. All I know is I heard on several sites that America kicked off that Europe was getting it first. Then Microsoft kicked off that Sony was getting it first. So how did they handle it? Well, the Xbox got it 2 days after the European original release date that was then cancelled. America got it for 16 hours before Europe, so as per usual, their way of fixing it was to screw us over once again. And I understand at the moment there's a lot of Americans complaining. Not everyone, because not everyone's like this, and I've got a lot of American mates who understand the way we get treated in Europe and how the Aussies deal with it. I mean, honestly, you have my sympathy. I think it's bad over here. I know fine well the Australian market is even worse. So there's a lot of people talking about Xenoblade on the Wii, saying, well, they're going to have waited 8.5 months to get that in North America. Yeah, that is a long wait. Granted, it's nowhere near as long as the over 12-year wait for Super Mario RPG to release in Europe. The 14-year wait we had for Chrono Trigger, and even then that was a Chrono Trigger port on the DS. The original SNES version didn't come out until 15 years. And we've currently waited 11 years for Chrono Cross. I say currently because the wait is not over. We've still not had Chrono Cross. And don't get me wrong, I know there's some games out there that never made it to America, like Twinbee, the original, but as much as I like the Twinbee games, Twinbee is a decent little shooter. The sequels were far better. Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, Chrono Cross, often referred to as 3 of the greatest RPGs of all time. Anyway, little rant over now. You'll probably notice a bit of a ranty mood on me today, mainly because of the video that you're probably going to see go up just after this one. But let's get on with reviewing a game that I have wanted to review for a long time because I've wanted it to be re-released for a long time. It's one of my all-time favourite beat-em-ups. To begin with, it is a Simpsons game, and if you've never played it before, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's truly fantastic. It's got so many in-jokes and references and characters from the series. I don't know what point up to the series, because I was too young to remember when the game came out what series came out with it, and I'm too lazy to check on the internet, so apologies about that. But all I know is if you're expecting to see stuff from Series 20, etc., then you're just not. So then, at the start, you've got local game, you've got online game. Very important that they've included both, because some of us do have friends in real life we like to play with, whereas some of us have friends online we like to play with. Scoreboards are scoreboards, help and options is, well, yeah, usual. You can view your controls, and there's 2 of them. You can so you can change your controls as well, but again, there remains 2 of them. And to be fair, what the hell have I done here? Right, use default controls please, thank you very much. Settings, you can choose to have it sharp or smooth. I personally prefer sharp. Wallpaper, you can have the arcade cabinet on or off. There's not much point to either, if I'm honest, because you can't make the screen size full, because this is about the best you can do. Zoom it in that much and then you've still got a load on the left and right. So it's a bit of a shame, because I mean things like Final Fight and the Turtles arcade and that, I'm sure on the Xbox the Turtles arcade goes all the way left and right, and I'm sure the other Konami beat 'em up that brought back X-Men goes all the way left and right. So I thought that they'd done it. Anyway, I've spent a long time ranting and then spending in the menus to actually get around to putting the game on. You can play between the USA ROM and the Japanese ROM, but you have to unlock the Japanese ROM. There's very minor differences. I mean, one of them you can jump with mallets and the other one you can't jump with mallets. I think the Japanese one's closer to the European one if memory serves than the USA one, but again, it's the type of thing that I really should have looked that up as well, but again, too busy being annoyed with the video that again will be coming up after this one. You can play loads of different modes on it. You can play survival mode, which is 1 credit, 1 life, no continue, so that's really cool. You can play team quarters where you share them. You can play quarter mode where each player gets 10 credits, or you can play a free player mode. You can choose loads of different difficulties, so you can make it stupidly hard or stupidly easy. And there's 8 stages to play, of which the 8th stage is just basically a boss stage where you fight 2 bosses. You can play as the whole family except Maggie, because the whole point, if you've never played the original before, is that Maggie gets kidnapped, which you'll probably see in this cutscene if it decides to load. So there you go. Smithers was robbing a jewellery store and Maggie got in the way, and the story's never made sense to me in this game. It really never has. Either way though, that starts your quest off to save Maggie. It's obviously 4 player at the same time, but currently I'm on my own, so I can't do that. The backgrounds, as you might have noticed, are interactive in this because you can pick things up and lug them, or you can stand in front of things and get hit. There's actually a lot of attention to detail in it, and a lot of, as I say, in jokes. So for example, that's the kid that teaches Homer how to play the boxing game in Moaning Lisa, and well, I think probably you all know how that episode ends. At least you should do. It's a rather good episode, even if Bleeding Gums Murphy's a little annoying. Anyway, you might have noticed I am kind of not so much a closet fan, but a huge fan of The Simpsons. I was pretty much born the year it came out, and I was getting first memories the year when it truly started to get shown, because obviously 87 was on the Ullman show, 91 was when it started getting the TV show, and I've loved it ever since. I really have. I love the new episodes, I love the old episodes. I'm just a huge fan of The Simpsons. It's one of those things that as it's got older I've appreciated different things about it. But I know a lot of people like to slag The Simpsons off, mainly because it's got kind of cool to slag it off, because of Family Guy, which I'm also a huge fan of, and South Park, which again, big fan of that. Pretty much if it's an animation, I'll give it a go. I'm a huge fan of anime as well, things like Death Note, Ghost in the Shell. Either way, I was just mainly doing filler, so I didn't have to do another cut or anything, just in order to get up to the boss here, because boss battles are standard affair. You have to kick the crap out of them. One of the cool things about this is you can actually go into start and change your character or drop out the game when there's more than one person on. So it's the type of thing that if you're not enjoying playing as Homer, you can swap to someone else, and I think now's probably the perfect time to swap to someone else and do a bit of a montage to show what they're all like. Although, as I say, as I'm not with anyone else, I can't show off any of the co-op stuff, because you do get some team attacks where if you stand next to each other, Bart will sit on Homer's shoulders and whack people with his skateboard. Marge throws her kids. Very motherly instinct there to just throw your kids. But either way, here comes the montage.
Blow up your balloon and go after Maggie. Ready? Go!
So that's the montage of the characters. As I say, they do have co-op attacks and that you can do, which are rather cool. There's pretty much very limited controls, though, as you saw. There's an X button, well, there's a jump button, there's an attack button, and you can push the both together to do a unique attack. So that's Homer's. You saw Marge do a bum bash. The game is, as I've probably already said, amazing as a beat 'em up. I absolutely love it. It's great in 1 player, it's great in 2, 3, 4 player. The trophies are also really good. They're fair on it. It's things like beat it on expert, beat it on survival, and that. Well, it might just be survivor stage or something on survival, but the trophies are all very doable with enough player, and it's the type of game that you will replay again and again and again and again and again. It's pretty much the same as all beat 'em ups, really. Because Streets of Rage and that, I must have beat that game close to 300 times because I just absolutely love them, and I've been, as I say, waiting for this one to come out for a long time now. I just hope that Capcom do Captain Commando next, because I absolutely adore that game and it could be my favourite beat 'em up. I really do love playing it on the PSP, and it needs a HD remake, it really does. Well, kind of HD. I suppose this is kind of a HD remake. Either way, that's everything I can say. Give it a go if you've not played it before. It really does deserve a go. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.